Hello all. Today we're going to be doing another assembly. This is a cargo truck. So it's also one of the newer models released last year. This is going to be a replacement for UTG 11. They're actually we're already out of stock on. So this is a new truck. To my understanding, it's a little bigger than the other one. Looks like more like a military truck, which is also pretty cool. So we're gonna start the assembly. Here's a little opening. So now with the new packaging, there's a little tear off on the side, which you just remove and open up the box, pull out all the internal components, and I guess we can technically discard of the packaging. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boards. So it is a large model, 550 pieces. We're going to put these on the side. We have a manual, as always, so for the cargo truck. And we do have a little bag here. I'm going to put this one's on the side. And the bag contains, let's see, the following. So we got a spring. Then we have rubber bands. I'm going to put these on the side inside the little box. We got few different size rubber bands. There's a thicker ones, thinner ones, and let's see, one small one I see. And let's see, we got sandpaper and a wax. So wax, probably not going to be enough. My recommendation to use the tea light candles. That wax is pretty soft and kind of like pretty smaller range temperature. I guess it's easier to apply in my opinion. Sandpaper, I use it sometimes, but also recommend a precision filer. That one's helping me a little bit. And then also another tool is the razor, right? So the razor blade to cut off a little bit fragile parts to make sure you don't break it. So that's a helpful tool. You don't really have to have it. It's just my preference. With the manual, as always, we got some warnings, some little directions. We have the symbols that are used throughout the manual. There's what parts, extra parts possible that you can break that are included with the boards. And then obviously a little helping tool that is on board number 5. So let's grab it right away. And we'll use it throughout the assembly to push the parts out and also to push them in into the assembly. So that's also a helping tool. There's like a little notch on the back that will help you to do that. So that's our page number 3, and page number 4 is the start of the assembly. So let's go ahead and start putting the model together. First step, page number 4, we need parts number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all of them on board number 1. And let's see, so it's going to be part number 1, let's see, top left corner, and together with part number 2. Part number 3 is top right corner. Part number 4 is, let's see, right here, a little bit above the center line. There's one in the center, one all the way at the top, so there's plenty of them. You just need one for now. And then part number 5, also on the same assembly. These ones gonna be, I see 11. Where's my part number 5? 4, 4, 11, 5. 5s are right here. So, all right, so, and looks like we're gonna need to make 2 of these. So let's pull another set. So we're prepared for the step number 2. 1, 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna put the board aside. So we need 2 sand and wax. So this one, that's where the this precision file comes into play pretty good, because it's almost the size of the thickness, so a little bit better. And then part number 5 also, we need to make sure there's everything looks like the burrs are on the inside of these little notches, so we don't really need to sand anything, just the waxing. So I'm going to use their wax for now. So we're waxing part number 4 all around, and part number 5 all around. In addition to it, we do need to wax the gears. So let's see, all around, and part number 4, and then the gear, which is part number 3. That one, we just need to get like in between the gears all around. Just make sure you apply enough wax. All right, so it is hard in the beginning, and then you do need to work that wax in a little bit once you assemble the parts. I mean the sub-assemblies put together, to get that wax working, to get it spread out evenly across all the surfaces that are in contact with each other. Once again, wood is pretty, has a lot of friction, so the material itself is not pretty easy to go with. All right, so now part number 1 and 2. I mean, you can put a little bit wax on the inside and on the outside just for the parts to snap in a little bit easier. You might have to wax it, but 1 is on the bottom, 2 is on the top, 2's got that little notch in here, or hole. So we put these 2 together, snap them all the way in. So at the top we have part number 3 that goes on top, and we want to put a little wax on these exterior, and then we lock it with part number 4, possibly. No, maybe not. So part number 4 all the way in, and part number 3 is on top of it. And then let's see, part number 5 on the bottom, all the way to the, as far as it can go. I'm gonna take part number 3 off right now. So push it against the tab as far as it can go. It should be flush. All right, and then we'll do the same thing with the other one. Put these 2 together, put a little wax on the edges, put a little wax here on these little edge here. 4 goes over at the top, all the way in as far as it can go, 5. And then once again, we have to watch out because there is a the 4 notches, I mean the holes, and those should face outward. So just like right here, see, they're facing outward. Same thing. We need to, when we insert it, we need to make sure that it's visible. Aesthetics, I guess. And then once again, all the way in. We already know part number 3 is going to go over there. It's rotating. Oh, good. And then moving on to step number 2. Do a little cleaning. Step number 2, we have parts number 4, 7, 6, and 2/8. So they're all on board number 1. So part number 6 is right here, top right, right under the 3s. We need 2 of them for 2 sub-assemblies. We need 2 number 4s. They're right here, right above the center. I mean, right above the middle to the left of the center line. And so we need 2 for this sub-assembly, and then we need 4 number 8s. Let's see, number 8. I was going to point it right below, closer to the bottom there on the right hand side. We need 4 of them. So pop them out, and let's see, we take the sub-assembly. We do need to wax. We do need part number 7, which I forgot. Part number 7, top right. We just need 2 of them for now. And part number 7, we do need to apply wax on it. Let's see, none of the other ones. Let's see, so got those 2. Take one of the sub-assemblies. Part number 6 goes over the top. Then we have part number 7. Then part number 4 to lock it up. And then we have part number with the longer space going into the part number 6. And it has to, let's see, the holes have to match up the holes on part number 3. So this longer tab's going to go all the way in. And I would also put a little bit of wax on this tab. That way it will make it go in easier. Unless you have a super dry climate, in that case, then it's probably going to go easier because it will dehydrate a little bit, shrink. All right, so we've got these 2 in. And we'll do the same thing with the other one. We got part number 6 is the first one. Then we got part number 7 goes right over the top of it. Then we have part number 4 locking it all up. And then match the holes and insert 2 parts number 8 across from each other. So 2 holes should be free, 2 holes are diagonal. I mean, not diagonal, but straight across. All right, so we have 2 assemblies ready, and then we're moving on to the step number 1 that is in the middle of the page. Here we also will need 2 of those assemblies, so we need parts number 9 and 10. They're at the top left here of the board. 9 and 10 one side, 9 and 10 on the other. We need 4 and 5, so we need 2 4s, 1 and 1. We need 5, 1 and 1. And that's it for this sub-assembly. So once again, now there's a little notches or burrs are inside the notches, so we just need to wax this part. And wax number 4, let's see, there was, as I remember, I know it's also inside the notches, the little cut points or cut pieces. And 1 on the other sub-assembly. All right, so here it's the other way around. So part number 9 has a little hole and it's on the bottom. So put these 2 together. Then we would put a little bit of wax on these longer sides. Put it on the top 2 just to be on the safe side, because we will be putting something over it and it will be a lot of friction to put it over. Once again, snap these 2 together. Long flat surfaces, short flat surfaces, all around. And let's see, part number 11 is the one that I forgot. Part number 11 would be right here, 1 at the center, and then 1 right here, a little bit to the left of the center line, below the middle. That one doesn't need to do anything, so we just insert it through the top. And good thing I put a little bit of wax on there, which makes it easier to put over. And then part number 4 right over to lock it up all the way in. And then part number 5 on the bottom, and that's going to go all the way to the top right here. And once again, with the little dots facing outward as far as it can go. Put it aside. Same thing on the second piece, doing the same thing. Part number 11, 4 to lock it up. And then 5 with the dots on the outward. Push it all the way in until it's flush. And then step number 2 of the sub-assembly, that's for A2. We need parts number 6, 7, and 4. So repeat the process, pushing these out. We got 4. We got 6s to the right. And number 7 right at the top here, top right, 2 of those. Once again, similar scenario. We will need to wax number 7 all around. Both of those, because 2 sub-assemblies. And then number 4 also. You feel free to send those a little bit too, but I don't think it's needed. We'll, I guess, figure it out later. So these go 6 over the number 4. Then we put number 7 all the way, and then we lock it up with number 4. Same thing on the other sub-assembly. And lock it up with number 4. So now we have 2 of A2. On the surface here. Step number 1 to the right for the A3 part. We need parts number 12, 2 13s, and 2 14s. So part number 12 would be right here, right on the center line. 2 of those, because once again we need 2 sub-assemblies. Part number 13, there's 4 13s, so we need 2 for each sub-assembly. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then part number 14, 14 are to the right below the middle. 2 for one side and 2 for the other. All right, and then number 13 needs to be waxed. the other subassembly. Part number 12, you want to wax right by the tabs on the outside. That's for easier insertion. Lubricating it a little bit, and let's see. So these are symmetrical. Part number 13 goes over, and that's the reason why for the lubrication. And then we lock it up with part number 14. So this one is with the surfaces facing to the right and the left. Part number 14 will go also right and left, just like this. And then one more thing to make sure is that on the bottom, that longer piece is facing the same direction. So turn it upside down, put number 13 on, and then 14 with the longer part facing the same, just like this. Make sure these two rotate, and then we do the same thing for the other. Longer piece to the left, and flip it, longer piece to the left, same direction as the one on the bottom or top, just like that. Then we got two of these for A3. Moving on to page number 5. So when you got to combine these A1, A2, and A3. So we take A1 first. That's the one with these little extensions. We put A2, which means A3. Found in air. This is A3, and this is A2. So putting A3 with the longer pieces through the gaps, through the holes, all the way in. And then we got to match up these little gears. That way, otherwise you won't be able to insert it all the way in unless they match up one side and the other side. And then theoretically, this should be rotating without any issues. Just to check that. And then A3 on the top through all 4 holes. I don't think there's a directionality here, but these are shorter pieces. We just need to make sure, once again, the gears teeth are, and we need to make sure both are spinning, and they would be spinning either direction. So one, nice and easy movement. So we need to make sure that everything is spinning without any kind of friction. Well, will be a little bit of a friction, but just to make sure. Spin one side, it spins the other end, spins the opposite direction. Then we'll do the same thing on the other one. So all the way in. Kind of when you rotate it, that's you feel like a little bit of a block, and then if you push it a little further, that block should go away as the burrs get removed by its own friction. All right, and then putting the other part in, same thing, just push it all around and slightly rotate just to make sure that all the gears are, or gear teeth are inserted properly. And now this side, same thing, give it some movement, play around with it a little bit just to make sure to eliminate all these burrs. So I'm spinning one direction, this is spinning the opposite, and same thing the other way. So make sure it spins freely both directions. All right, we're still recording, good thing. Continue checking, as I always do, because it seems like I've been running out of room a lot. Should have got a phone with a larger memory. So we got 2 of these, and that was step number 1 on page number 5. Moving on to step number 1 to the right. We have subassembly for A5. For that, we're still on board number 1. Cleaning off all the wax off of here for easier working surface. And let's see, we need part number 15. Right to the right of the center line, below the middle. We need part number 17 and 16. They're right at the center line, a little bit towards the top. 16 and 17. Parts number 18. They're to the right, a little bit below middle. And 2 19s. 19s are at the top right here. The only parts left at that corner. I'm going to put them aside so we don't mix 18 and 19 because they look very similar. All right, so we need to wax this gear. Let's see, all around. Then I would wax these longer parts here. That's part number 18 and 19. There's notches for the cuts, so I don't think I need to sand these. And then part number 19s, they're a little smaller. I guess I would be able to tell them apart. Kind of hard to say it on the paper though. So part number 19, wax all around, and then 17 doesn't have the hole, 16's on the right, and then we need to make sure that our gear is in first before we push those two together, because if we don't put the gear, then you'll have to take it apart. So push these together so gear is right in the middle, and then 18 and 19 lock it up, so 18 goes in first, 19 goes in second. 18 and 19. And then our step number 2 in that sub-assembly. Let's see, we have parts number 20, 21, and 22. Part number 20 is right here, bottom right, almost kind of like in the center of that quadrant. Part number 21 would be to the left, right, in the middle line here. Part number 22 is right below, like right at the center line, one of them. And once again, we gotta wax the gears on 22. Then we take our little sub-assembly. Looks like it doesn't matter which side we start with first. We have part number 20 with a little arc. So that arc is gonna go towards the gear. Insert it over. And then 21 is upside down. I don't think it matters right now, but with that little notch facing outward. And then 22 will lock these two in place. Once again, right now the way they are doesn't matter. So, because you can rotate them. And then we flip it around and we do 20, 21, and 22 on the other side. So push the same force out. 22 is right next to that. 21 also right at the center and the middle, right of the board, and then 20 is right below to the right of the middle, center line below the middle. All right, same thing, 22 gets wax all around on the teeth. And we'd start with 20 from the opposite end with the arch facing towards inside. 21 is next, and then we with the notch outside towards the outside, and then we lock it up with number 22. All right, and that's our A5. Wax to the side. Moving on to page number 6. Let's see. I guess I'll have to check after each page before what we get. Let's see, step number 1 on page number 6, we need parts number 21, 23, 24, and 25. So 21, there's 2 more. They're right below the middle to the left here, and we need 2 of them, so that's an A6. 1 and 2. They're all on board number 1. So 23. 23 is going to be bottom right. 24 is going to be bottom left all the way. And then 25 are right here to the top left, right above the middle. Little wood split, that's all right. I don't think it's going to matter on the functionality at this point of time, but all right, here, what do? We need to wax part number 25. sorry, 24 all around. Then we insert 25 through it. 21 is gonna go with the notch. It doesn't matter, I guess notches on both sides. Gonna go through into here to lock it in. And then 23 will go with the little arch towards the top, which also wouldn't matter right now, I think, but we'll follow the instructions or directions. Just like this, and then we make 2 of them. I'll do it towards the top. Here we go, which can be changed. Now we're in the step number 1, right in the middle of the page here to the right at the top. We need our A4, first one. We need our A5. And let's see, we will need the part number 26. Put these aside. 26 is going to be still on board number 1, bottom left. So we'll take it for the first one. Gears on the left. We put the 26 in with a little nudge towards you. Then we put number A5 subassembly. Whichever side, doesn't matter. Where does it go? It goes right here. So this, we need to make sure that the arch is towards the top. So that's when we insert piece in here. Oh. Turn it upside down. I will stay to that just to make sure per these pictures before. It should be towards the top. Insert it, and then interlock with the gears here. Now 26 on the other side, bottom left. With that's where we're in the step number 2. With that notch for the rubber band is towards you again, like this, and then we insert it over the other side. All right. And in here, we take one of the A6, once again, the arch towards the top. We put it over numbers 26. Make sure that little piece 21 is facing towards the top, kind of like similar on the opposite end. Oh, come on. Let's not express our frustration. A little patience is needed. So one side and then the other side, just like this. And that would be done with page number 6. Flip it to the next page. And here we're going further. So this side, same thing. Make sure the little arch is towards the top. We need another part number 26. There are 2 of them on the bottom right here, so we know now that we need both. So I'll take them both out right away. And we turn the gear towards you. 26 with the nudge is going to go towards the outside. To the right now, rather than to the left. And then we put subassembly here. Make sure the arch facing towards the top. This little piece goes towards the top. And then while it's still on, or not, we feed it over. And then this piece, just like this. Lock it up, and then 26 on the other side, the same thing, with the nudge towards the outside. We lock it on the opposite end. So now our gears are opposite of each other, these two. And then A6 to lock it up with the arch towards the top. One side and then the other side. Just like this. And so we have our, that's 5, A6, everything is matching. So gears matching with this gear matches with this gear. Now we have our subassembly A with all these facing towards the top. Move it to the side. Page number 7 is done. Page number 8, now chassis. All right, so we need from board number 2, we'll need these two long pieces, number 31 and 27. 27 is on the right of board number 2, and 31 is on the left. And then we got our part number 30 right at the top here in the center. Put that board aside for now. We need from board number 1, we need parts number 28. They're right here to the left. And then part number 29, right at the center on the bottom. All right, 31 on the left, 27 on the right. This longer empty space towards you. And counterpart is not empty, but this little hole in the bottom notch should be also towards you on part number 27. 28 is gonna go somewhere at the end, one of the 28s, one at the top, one on the bottom, right here, 2 notches all the way at the end. We're gonna insert it into the 27 and one on the top. And then 29 is gonna go into these 2 holes right here, right at the, right in between these 2 notches, all the way in. Now we take part number A. Oh, hold on. This sub-assembly is gonna go, the holes, the end with the holes gonna go to on the edge here and upside down. So that's this is gonna be facing down, and it's gonna go into this hole right here. And then this sub-assembly A will go right underneath here. Let's see. So we got these 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of double holes. They're gonna go right into these top pieces here. So first one's here, 1, second one, 2, third one, 3, fourth one, 4. Just like this. This gear, I mean, it doesn't matter which way you insert it. And then 31 is the other way around on the, so you just insert all these parts in there. One by one. Careful not to break anything, and as you're inserting them, just match up the holes to get them in. Once you match them all up, you should be able to squeeze it all together without any issues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of them are matched up. All right, and that's our B. All right, moving on to page number 9. Put B on the side. Page number 9, step 1 at the top. We're going to be putting together parts number 33 and 32. 2 of the 33s, they're still on board number 1. 1 and 2 right at the bottom here. The only 3 parts that are left. There's a couple extras, so do not throw that board out just yet. We have part number 18 and part number 4 extras. So I'm going to put it aside. Part number 33, we match these up. UGears a little bit facing towards the outside. Put a little wax on these little dimples here on the inside. Put the wax on part number 32 and all these little pieces that need insertion. And then we squeeze it through these two on the very bottom. I see. So this tabs should go through the hole all the way in, just like this. That's a C1. Then step number 1 to the right is C2. Here we're on board number 2. We need parts number 34, 30, and 2 35s. The 34 is top left. And then 35s are to the right here. Halfway between the middle and the top. Push these out. And then they're gonna go, this hole gonna go onto the tab. One side, they're symmetrical, so it should be one side and then the other side, doesn't matter. 1 and 2. That's a C2, put it aside. Bottom page, left side, step number 1 is gonna be C3. Here we need a little bit more parts, so it's 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. So let's start hunting for those. I got, let's see, let's start with 36. 36 is going to be right here, top left corner, right below 42s. 1, 37, large gear, a little below the middle, to the left of the center line. 38, below the center line to the right, below the middle to the right of the center line, sorry. Let's see, 39 is going to be this little right above the middle to the right of the center line. 40 is going to be, let's see, right at the center to the left. And then 41 is going to be a little gear right here, bottom right, kind of like a halfway between the middle and the bottom, on the bottom right quadrant. All right, so we got all these parts. We need 2 wax, 37, 38, 40, and 41. So almost anything that is round and circular. Let's see, 37, all the gears all around. $41. I'm running out of wax. You do need extra. Not sure how you can operate with a little stick. I mean, I guess I can gather from all that garbage, but it's not going to be enough. All right, so 36. We're going to go with 37 over it. I guess we can start with 38, because you can insert 37 from either side. So 38 is going to be without the little slash or little cut here. All the way in, flush. 39 is going to go over. All right, I guess 41 or 40, that little nudge facing towards you. We're going to put that one on first. We can put 39 over it and then lock it for 41. Little sub-assembly like this with the center part moving around. That's our C3, put it aside. And then the last sub-assembly on this page is step number 1 to the right, bottom right, 42, 43, and 44. So those are parts also on board number 2. 42 is at top right here. There's one extra just in case. 43 would be top left. And then 44 is right next to it. We need 2 wax 44, obviously. The round piece. 43, all the gears, teeth. think this is going to be the end of the wax piece. And then I would put a little wax on the edges here, just for easy insertion. All right, so 43 is first, and it's going to go all the way. And then 44 is going to be also all the way in, locking the 43 in, just like this. And we're done with the C4. Moving on to the page number 10. Step number 1 at the top here. We need the C4 that we just assembled. We need part number 45. 45 is right here, right above the, so this one's a little fragile. I would carefully remove it from the board. Then we need two 46s. There's 3 right here. 1 is extra, so we can pull that little piece out all together to make it easier. And just carefully take these out. Kind of play it back and forth a little bit. And then part number, I'm going to put that aside, so just in case. And then part number 47 should be to the left here of part number 48. A little tiny round piece. Alrighty, so we need to wax. We're going to use my wax now. We're going to wax this little hole right here on the inside, the little tiny one. Center the wax right in there. We're gonna. Oh, we don't need to wax that hole. I don't know. It's just pointing out to it. But anyway, it's waxed. So scratch that. We're gonna need to wax all these gears, all the teeth. Let's see, all the teeth are there waxed, and then we need to wax 47. So with this wax that I'm using, as I'm holding it in my hands, it melts, so it makes it a little, well, maybe easier or maybe not to put it on. All right, so let's get to the assembly. So we take our C4. This little notch should be away from you as we insert it from the right hand side. We insert it through the large hole here, or small, this small hole, metal hole, I guess, metal size hole, into the C4. Then we put two 46s, and there is, let's see, the little teeth should be facing towards you. So it's, if you look at it from this side, they should be facing clockwise direction. Then we insert it all the way in. How far? Does it go all the way? Or does it stop? I guess it doesn't go all the way. Same thing with the second one. Make sure the teeth are facing the right direction as far as it can go. And then we'll lock it all up with 47 at the edge here. Then C2 is gonna go over onto these little tabs here. Well, 2 ends. Insert these, and then let's see, step number 3, C1 will go into this little hole, the one that I did put wax on, which is good. Let's see, and then we're gonna get number 48, which is top left corner on board number 2 here. And we might as well take out 49, so carefully. That one looks like a fragile piece. Where's it? 48, with the hole facing the same direction, so that little C1 gonna get through it. I would put a little bit of wax on these little edge. Back. That one's here. That little C4 through the hole. And it gets attached at the top. Right here. That rotates, and then 49 at the end here with the little art facing outward. That's our exclamation point here. And let's see, that will also like the little C4 subassembly here. Just like this. Should only rotate one way. And then we turn it around, backwards. And then we put a C3 with a little gear facing outwards. So this is gonna go right here. Let's see, with this one, I guess the tab should be closer to the top. Make sure when you insert it, the gears match up. This will not turn around, that's why I'm saying these tabs should be towards the top. And then we do I guess I didn't insert this one correctly, but doesn't matter. These little notches should be towards the bottom. And then part number 50, which is also on board number 2, right here, right below the middle, close to the center line. There are 2 of them. So that one, with this little tab, going over, locking these 3 pieces together. One end, and then on the other end. The gears match up, as I mentioned. And that should rotate as I'm testing it clockwise. Very easy. That's a C5. Moving on to the page number 11. We're gonna put a C5 to the towards the left a little bit for a second, split second, while I'll clean the table. All right, so we need part number 51, also on board number 2, bottom left here, quadrant. Then we need our big assembly. Turn it around. With the little gear facing towards inside the assembly, we put it right onto the part A here. And then the grill with the outline facing outward, we're gonna insert it into the, which hole? The very top hole here. Just like this. And then turn it around for step number 3 on page 11. Let's see, part number 52, also on the bottom right here. Careful, fragile part. We need to wax these little notches here on 2 ends. And then we insert it into this little hole right here. On the left side, with a this little rectangle facing towards the outside. One part, and then the part number 50, the second one, with the longer tab towards the back, we insert it over. That's a step number 2, over these little tab on part number 52, and then all the other components to lock it in. Just like this. So this would move forward and back, just like this. And that's where our assembly C. I think I pushed everything in. We're done with this assembly C, page 11. We're moving on to the page number 12. Page number 12, we got parts number. Clean up space a little bit. Make sure the video is running. I know it takes a little bit longer time, but at least I'm sure that you guys can see everything. We're on board number 2 still. We need parts number 54, 53, and 54. So 54, 2 of them here. 1, 2. Part number 53 is going to be bottom right quadrant. Wax the little tabs. And put 254s over the tabs, 1 and 2. The next step, we're going to go part number 55, bottom left quadrant, 2 of them. And we're going to log these 2 in. We need to push it all the way in because we need to put 2 of the 55s in. Just like this. Then we take 2 more 54 bottom right quadrant. I'm gonna take it out all together just so it's easier for me to take these out. And these gonna go over these 2 tabs facing the other direction. And now we need 2 ports number 56. 57, 56 to the left here at the edge with the notches facing outward and matching each other. We insert these 2 55s through them. I'll put a little bit wax on 55 on the tabs. And these are outward. Notches are kind of like in a, what is it, 2 o'clock position. 1 and 2. Matching. That's a D1. Put it aside. Then step 1 on the bottom page, we need 53 and 54 again. 53 bottom right, 2 54s. Kind of similar scenario. Wax all these little tabs on 53. We need 2 more of 54. 57, they're right here, bottom right quadrant. And I need 2 more of 55s. So let's see, 53, 54 facing to the right, which doesn't really matter right now. We're pushing it through 57. Remember, there are 2 of these, so we need to push it all the way. Then we put 2 more 54s facing the other direction and then lock it up with 55. One side. And on the other side. Once again, all the way in. I'm holding part number 54 because if you push it too hard, you will break 53. So once again, apply a little bit of a wax. I would probably use also the helping tool. To get those in. All the way. All right, and we got ourselves part number D2. And then the last one, step number 1 on our bottom right, that's going to be our D3. We need ports number 62, bottom left quadrant, 58, 59, very bottom left. There are 1 of each spare, just in case. Then we need port number 60, bottom left also. And then 61 also, like very bottom left. pull these out, and then we need wax on number 60 all around. And 61, all the teeth. Let's see, 58, 59. 58's got two little notches. That will go 60. It's gonna go from the single one. It needs to go right over these little tabs. Oops. Let's see, and then 61 over it. A little tough. Almost there. To make sure it's all the way in. And then that part number 62 with the flat surface towards the top, the notch is top right corner. We put that little piece in there, make sure it rotates, nice and easy. That's a D3. Moving on to the page number 13. D3 is gonna go on the side right now. There's nothing locking it from the back, so it just sits in there. All right, and then we're on page number 13. We need parts number on board number 3, some of them. 63, 2 of them. That was the board, not the part. 64. I think I saw it on the, no, yes. Board number 2, top left here, or right closer to the center. 66 also on the same board, it's bottom left quadrant here. And 65 would be on board number 3. All right, so we need 2x number 66. Need 2x number 64. Both of them. And I would also wax the ends of part number 63. Just a little, you don't need much. All right, so these ones with the slide out, 64 goes over first on the longer side with a little different sized tabs. And then 64, we need to push it all the way in. Then 65, gonna go over it. And 66 gonna lock it up. Just like this. And then on the other side, we'll lock it, both of these together with the 64. Once again, all the way as far as it can go. All right, and now one more 68. Oh, one more 65 and a 68. 65 is on right at the center line on board number 3. And 68 is board number 2. Right at the center line below the middle. So 68 is going to go on this little singular piece here, versus 65 is going to go over 67, also on board number 2. Bottom right, little below the middle. So that one's going to go, we need to wax it obviously. The 67 is going to go on this end where one of the 65s is in. All the way to the gear, and then another 65 is going to go over it, and then 68 on the opposite end here. So this is our D4. We're going to put it aside also. And then step number 1 on page number 13, we need our D3, this little subassembly. And then D1, that was the first one that we put together with these little arches. That's going to go over here, over D3, to as far as it can go, as far as you can push it, to lock it in, just like this. Then we have part number 69 on board number 1 and 2 of them. We need 2, part 69, bottom left corner on board number 2. They're, let's see, same symmetrical size, so it doesn't matter which way you insert it, but we put it into the D1 as far as it can go. Then we take a D2, insert it, and these two should match, so you shouldn't do like crisscross, they should match. Facing each other. That's a D2, and then step number 2, we take the D4 with a single 68 piece on there, and we insert it right over into the D2 as far as it can go. D5s are falling off, but this is our long D piece on page number 13. Now we're gonna go on page number 14. Check the recording really quick, everything is still running, so we're good to go. Take our long subassembly C, we take our shorter subassembly D, that's the step number 1, and with this little piece, let's see, with the notch, round off piece should be facing down, that's going to go into two notches here. Everything else looks fine, so we need to make sure that we get this one in correctly. Then next, this portion, then need to fix these up a little bit. Take this out for a sec because I need to fix the parts number 65 first. Put it back on, flat surface towards the top. These gonna go into the slots here, and we need to make sure that the gears are matching up. This one's in here. Everything's sitting in its places, nice and snug. Then we have parts number 71 and 72. They're on board number 3. So I'll take 72, top left quadrant here. 71 is going to be right below the middle here on the left. And then 70 is going to be on board number 2, to the right here, right below the middle, to the right of the center line. So that one's going to be board number 2. We're done. We're going to put it aside because there's some spare parts on there. All right, so 71 is going to go over with the notch towards the front. There's a little notch here, so that one's going towards the front, and that's going to go over here, right closer to the back. Yep. Locking the 65s in right here, right in that center. Then 72 is going to go into these notches here. Both ends, just like this, locking it in. And then 70 is going to go in the back. These hooks going to go through the holes, and then we'll lock these in. Next step, number 3. Let's see, we need rubber band, 2 of them. There are 40 millimeter, 1.5 and 1.6. So these thin ones, 2 of them. they're gonna go through these little notches right here, hook them up over these two, this two, then lock them up on the other side, just like this. Right, so we hook it on the second one also, hook it from the inside. Go all the way around, hook it over the top, hook it over the top, and then hook it over on the other side from inside, just like this. And adjust it a little bit so they're nice and straight. And that would be, I guess I'm done with E. So all around, and this is going to be a very large truck. All right, so we're moving on to the page number 14, still recording, perfect. Moving on further on to page number 15, put that huge subassembly on the side for now. And we're in board number 3. We need parts number 73, 2 of them, they're bottom left here. Then we need part number 74, which is going to be right here, top right quadrant. And we will need the spring. So let's wax the 74 first, all around. These little tabs facing, or the little marks facing towards the top, combine the 73 together and insert it as far as it can go on the shorter end. Just like this. Then we take a spring, that's step number 2. Clean it up a little bit here. Let's see. With a little hook facing clockwise direction, closer to the bottom here, we push that little piece from the bottom in between the two, hook it up between two 73 pieces. Spread them out a little bit. Insert. Insert the spring in between 73s. Push it in, all the way in, as far as it can go. And then we need to put 74 over it. There's another 74 top right quadrant with the notches. Wax it on the outside. Notches facing towards the top, matching the notches on the bottom. As far as it can go, just like this. So once again, the hook is bottom right, bottom left. Make sure it's nice and straight. Insert it all the way where it can be, and that's our F1. So we put our Formula 1 to the side, F1 to the side. Part number 75, bottom left, is step number 1, page 15. So 75, the large one right here. Push it out. Flip it upside down so the little gear is on the bottom. We do need to wax every single gear in here, all around. Oh, my heater stopped, so it's nice and quiet here, so kind of feels a little weird with all the quietness in my basement. All right, so parts number 76, we need 6 of them. They're right here, whole section of them, a little bit above the middle and the top left quadrant. So get all 6 out and put them into the corresponding holes. Make sure they're all the way in. And we put a spring, F1, over it on the inside. just drop it in, I guess. All right, and then let's see, 77, we'll put it over the top. And 78. 78 is right to the right of this. 77 right in the middle, to the right of the center line. We need 2 wax on the outside of the part number. Oh, and sand a little bit where the notches are at. Or connection points, I should say, and then wax all around. That one's going to go over. And then this little piece, also we need to wax it all around. And it should face the same way. I'm gonna match the little which wouldn't matter on this one, but it probably matters here. So these little teeth should match the same direction and they should go counterclockwise. Flip it around 180 degrees. That should go right into the hole, but it doesn't. Oh, because we need to sandwich them together. All around. Then we flip it other direction, moving on to the page number 16. All of these are snapped together. And then we need part number 79, which is on board number 3, bottom right here. Wax it. And then we need to insert it. So the gears, the teeth matching the same direction. That's drawn right here. Now, let's see, we need to rotate this, the gears, until it fully winds up. And this little tab goes in between the inside there. So probably one more. There's like a little tab here that it needs to keep on winding, and right here it hit it. So we need to hold the winding and use our tool to push that little lip over that little part 76, right? So it locks it on there. I pushed it as far as I can, so it sits right on the part right now. So if I let it go, it's gonna unwind a little bit, but it's still gonna sit inside untouched. So that's our F. I'm gonna put it aside, clear out the space from the wax. Check, make sure our video is running. Everything is still good. We're at about an hour and 30 minutes, which is good. So the video is still running. We're on page number 16. Bottom portion is step number 1. We need parts number 80. They're still on board number 3. 80 and 81. So 81 is that little piece here that is pretty fragile. And then 80 is to the right, top right corner. So this one's hard to explain. This tab is towards the top. We insert down into that notch, and then we push 82 onto this little tab on inside, like this, and then just like that, locks it up. Step number 2, we need parts number 83, 84. They're all on board number 3. 283 stop left corner, 84 somewhere around there, right here bottom to the right. So I'll use the tool here because that one's little tiny little gear to get it out split. Let's see if I can get the second one out a little better. Oh, there we go. And then part number 85 is right at the center here, center line. Let's see. So 83. Let's do the little tiny piece over the little tab at the top. 83 is gonna get the tab towards inside, just like this. Other side. Oop. So towards the inside, but then insert it differently, and then we need 82 on the other side. 82 is right here. Kind of missed this step right here, but let's take the 83 out of the way. 82 is gonna go at the end here. And 83, one on each side. Just like this, and then 85 we inserted right here in this hole with UGears away. Just like this. We got G1. Moving on to the page number 17. We get a little, that sub-assembly, and then F is going to go with the gears towards the top. It's going to go right into here with this little thing locking, and we need to lock it on these 2 gears. This one in here, and this one's on there. So once we turn it upside down, as I'm turning it, I'm not going to be turning it right now, but these should face, if you're looking from the bottom, they should face counterclockwise. Turn it back down. That's where step 1. Step 2, turn it around. Oop. Insert it, make sure these gears match up too. Hold it. And then we need parts number, well, you can't really hold it and pull the parts out. 86, 87, and 88. They're all on board number 3. So 88 and 86 are to the right here. And then 87, there are 2 parts right here in the little space here. Where's my tool? Tool. Get these little 2 guys out. 86 first. This is going to go with a thicker part inside. Nope. The other way. They should face counterclockwise. So from the other direction. 1 and 2. And then 88 right over it. So the arrow is going to point clockwise direction. Just like this. And then that's going to go over the little mechanism with the, let's see which way. If we're gonna rotate it this way, just make sure I'm checking that slot. I don't know if that matters or not, but they're gonna go like this, over. place. Step number 3. All right, and then we'll flip it upside down. And we need part number 89 also on board number 3, right at the bottom, below the middle and the center here. And that one's gonna go over. Turn it around like this. It's gonna go over, and we're gonna insert it on these parts and here, and make sure that this little mechanism or gears are going to be, that's the other direction, like this, and then the gear goes inside the teeth. Push them to the side a little bit to make sure that they snap in. We squeeze it together to get that locking gear and part number 89. So make sure it sits flat on both ends, and we're good to go. And these little teeth are holding the little bars. All right, and then moving on to the page number 18. Next step is number 90, step number 6. We need part number 90 and the board number 3 right here. And that one's gonna go through these 2 holes, but you need to make sure that it's kind of like slide all inside, just like this, and make sure it's all the way in. And then the next step, number 7, we need parts number 91, 92, and 93, also on board number 3. 91, they're all in the top right corner, 91, 92, and 93. We need to wax all of them, all 3. And 93. 93 is the, 91 is the with the larger slot, so that one goes on first. Then the gear, and then the teeth facing clockwise, so the little arch should be facing you. And then 93 to lock that up. Next step is G1. This little piece is gonna go in first, and then right over, where does it go? Right over here. This little tab in here, right? Right inside, and then with this part gonna go over here. So just like this, and then this tab here and here, and we lock it all in, just like that. Weird assembly, but okay. Step number 9, we need part number 94 and 95, top right corner, 2 95s. And 94 is right to the right of the center line here. So let's see, with these towards the top, they're gonna go into these 2 holes, 1 and 2. And these little tabs gonna go into holes here. Just like this. All right, and now we turn it around, and we have 95, 2 95s again, same location, and then 96 is the other part. Same idea, opposite end. That's a step number 10. We insert it on the other end, just like this. All right. Next, that's our G. Moving on to the page number 19. Quite extensive assembly, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, we're on page 19. Step number 1, top left corner. We need parts number 99, 97, 98, 99. Let's see, they're all on board number 3, bottom left corner here. So let's see, 97, right here, 2 of them. So we're making H1 right now. So let's just pull that one up. Very easy. Looks like pretty fragile part. So let's keep it that way. 98 right below it, and then 2 99s. Alrighty. So we need to wax these little tabs on part number 97. It shows right here. Then we need part, so we set it up with these little fork to the left, with 2 long tabs towards the top. We're gonna put part number 98, which has that little arch here. So it has to be facing towards you. We're putting it over this little piece right here. With the hole obviously facing towards you. Arch should be to the right, and then 99 with these little T shape towards the right on both top and bottom, just like this. And this is our H1. We're gonna put it aside for a second. H2, same parts. We have 97, 98, and 2 99s. And essentially we're doing the same thing. We're waxing these little tabs, the long and the short one, the ones that are on the edge. Now the fork's going to be facing the other direction. Then we put a 98 with the little arch towards you, hole towards you, notch to the, the arch to the left. Slide it over, and then 2 of the 99s facing the other direction to the left. That's our H2. So let's put H2 on the right hand side here. Next, step 1 on the bottom there, we need part number 100, which is also on board number 3 to the right here. We need to wax inside these little tiny holes. Somehow get your wax in there, and then we need to wax this little slot right in the center. Right, let me push this out, make sure it's not on the way. So H1 goes on the left hand side with the, let's see, with these T's, I guess, going through these 2 little holes. Rectangular holes, obviously. Make sure it's all the way in. So just like this, and then H2 is going to go on the other end in a similar fashion, just mirror. Just like this, all the way in, just like that. Now, step number 2 is part number 101. It is right on the bottom left here. And then 2 of 102s. Let's see, 102s, it's to the right, lower right quadrant. Push these 2 out. Looks like we don't need any wax on those, but it is recommended to put it on these little tabs because that's where it's going to be rotating. And then we insert from the bottom, we insert the 101 and then lock it up with 102 on both ends. We're recording, which is great. Now 103, step number 3 is right at the top, like center, a little bit above the middle. Pull that out. And that's gonna go through this slot right here, this slot, and then through the hole, and it should be moving left and right, turning the wheels, I guess, or these little, not the wheels, but these little parts. Alrighty, moving on to the page number 20, continue with the sub-assembly step number 4. We need 2 parts 104, they're on the same page, they're right here. There's 104 and 105, sorry. So 104 is on the left, and it's going to go on the left hand side. And then 105 is on the right, on the board, and it's going to go on the right hand side. So with the little burnout pieces facing towards the outside, right and left. So 105. With this little tab's going to go through this hole right here, through the top, just like this. You push it in and slide it over, and same thing on the other side. With the hole facing towards you, it's going to be upside down. We push it in and slide it over, slide it into the hole. Then that's the step number 2. Now we turn it around 180. Then step number 5, we put part number 100. That's the second one right here, bottom right, all the way at the bottom. We're gonna slide it into the other ends. You probably want to put a little bit of a wax inside, try to squeeze it inside those holes. And then let's see, it's gonna go into those holes, and then we're gonna lock it up on the little tabs. So kind of similar situation, a little tough. Squeeze it in, and then on one end, and then the other side. Not gonna lock it up just yet. Need to make sure that all the parts are inserted. And now we need to make sure that part 100 is all the way in on both ends. So just make sure the holes are matching up before squeezing it completely, so to make sure it's not to break it, and then it still should move. There we go. Just to be on the safe side. We're gonna check it right now. So it's moving both directions, how it's supposed to. And I do a little bit wax inside on here to make it easier. So it has the turns. Now step number 6, we do parts number 106, also on board number 3. They're at the top right here, right at the center line. And it's going to go on the right and left hand side into these little forks. Make sure not to, let's see, break anything. Doesn't matter which way they go. I mean, the T is going towards inside. I mean, they're not. Here we go. Like these two up, and then we part. Now step number 7. We got parts number 107, 4 of them. They're also on board number 3, and this is the last. Let's see, just to make sure, this is a spare. All right, so this is board number 3, goes on the side in the meantime, and then we put the wax on parts number 107 all around. And I pulled out all 5 of them. There's 1 spare, so I don't need 5, I just need 4. I'm gonna put 1 on the side just in case for now. And then these gonna go over these little T's that we just put on. 2 of them. And then once again, if it doesn't insert very easy, just put a little bit of a wax on the outside of these little connectors, like right here, and then it'll help it slide those parts on. And make sure they go all the way in. Don't apply the pressure to the whole assembly. See, I'm holding with the fingers here, so just make sure it's you're holding the parts, because if you're gonna hold the assembly, you're gonna most likely snap the rest of it. Hold on, this one's not all the way in. Gonna go all around, push it in as far as it can go, and then insert the second one, just like this. And that's part number H, and then if we turn these, they should turn right and left. Should go pretty easy. The opposite directions, just like this. So we're done with page number 20. Moving on to the page number 21. We are now back into that large assembly. Turn it upside down. And then we're on to board number 4, parts number 108. So 2 of them, one is to the left of the center line below the middle, bottom left quadrant, and one is top right corner. And so now we need to, let's see, insert these 2 guys. Let's see, where's the front? This is going to be the front facing towards you. Going to turn it upside down, and they're going to go over. Where are they going to go? Need to figure that part out. All right, so this little hole is going to go over this square opening right here, and then we're going to insert part number 108 through there into these 2 slots, locking it up from one side and the other side. What I would do is put a little bit, actually, instead of, I'll put a little bit of a wax on part number 108 on this tab, just because there's going to be rotating around it. So let's do one side first, over the square hole, and then insert 108 all the way in. And then we'll do the same thing on the other end, put it over, and insert it all the way in. So these should still have a little bit of a movement like this. And now we need 2 of the little tiny rubber bands, which I only have 1, which is a problem. There was supposed to be 2 in that box or bag. Let me see if I have thrown it out yet. There's a second. Oh, never mind. Pairs. I just didn't see them in the bag. So make sure you check your bag thoroughly. If it's still not there, you can contact us for the replacement part. You can contact the manufacturer. So here's the sticker. There's 2 of the small ones and 2 of the larger rubber bands. So I'm gonna take, looks like this is a 20 millimeter, so this is a larger one. Out of the smaller, there's an extra one just in case. So I just didn't pull all the rubber bands from there. So these, let's see, they're gonna go over this little hook right here, and then they're gonna go over the hook on hard to explain. The sub-assembly did was just this. So there's a hook here and a hook here. It's gonna go on the first one or second. First. And then second. Okay. And all right, so this is gonna go, the other one 20 millimeter, this is 10 millimeter diameter. So we're gonna put it on the hook that is furthest away from you first, hook it up, go through this hook with both like the full rubber band, just like this, wrap it around and bring it up and hook it up on the first one that is closest to you. That's gonna be a little bit pain in the butt, but we have to go through the inside, I guess. Let's see, I would probably try to go in and hook it up first onto the furthest part. My hands are a little slippery because of the wax, so I hooked it up on the first, and then I'm gonna stretch it up and hook it onto the second one. There you go. The bottom portion came out, so I have to redo it. All right, once again, hook it up around the back first, around this part. I don't know if you can see it. Then you hook it, the right hand side, you hook it on the furthest away, and left hand side, you hook it on the closest to you. And so just hold it, make sure you don't pull out the rubber band, hold both ends. And as I said, do the first one first, make sure it's all the way in, and holds nice and tight, and then put the second one over the hook. You are allowed to use other tools if your fingers are not. So usually probably something like a paper clip or something that you can make a little hook to pull the rubber band. So I did attach one side, and then let me attach it on the other side. So once again, I go and pull it both ends over. And then first I'll do one on one side. And then reach out, grab the other end while it's still wrapped, and stretch it out a little bit. Oh, got unhooked. And the second one is accomplished. Whew. That was I. Here's the part I. We're gonna put it aside right now. Move on to the page number 22. And we're gonna do wheel assemblies. Step number 1, top left corner. We need to do 109 and 110. 110s are all at the top here, 109s are right in the middle. So we need 12 of them. So 12 of 109 and 24 of 110. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 24 of 1/10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. 24 of those, put it aside. Let's grab a wax, and we need to wax these little tabs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. We're still recording, which is a good sign. All right, now we're gonna put these 12 assemblies together. Make sure that the opening is facing to the right, the little tab to the left, and we're gonna go with these little parts, the one that you waxed, they're gonna have to go towards the middle. So you just insert just like this. 1, 2. Make sure it's not upside down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, halfway through, 7. Once again, remember the hole is to the right and the tab is to the left. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Now we need to make 4 wheels total. And I guess it's 3 per wheel, so we got part number 111. We need 4 of them. Right, and 111 is to the right here, 2 of them. Right, 4. 2. No, we need 8 because 1 and 2 from the top, 2 from the bottom, 2 from the top, and the rest of them are on page number board number 5. 111s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alrighty. Now we take the first sub-assembly. We need to make sure this little dot is facing towards the top. And let's see, we're gonna go hole that is 1 over, I guess. Make sure it's all the way in. And then we're gonna insert 2 more onto the other holes from the bottom. Once again, the dot is facing top. You need to match up these tab and a hole. And make sure they interlock. And then a third one from the bottom. All the way around. And then we lock it up from the top, one more 111 with the holes matching, these little dots matching to each other. Just like this. Make sure all these are sitting in. So we need 4 like this, 4 wheels. So the way I'm doing it, I'm inserting these pieces 110 in first, so they match up with the holes. Then we're gonna lock these 2 and then push the 110s all the way through 111. Line them up. Line them up. And then match up, push them in. Push them in. 2. Nope, forgot to insert 1 over. Once again, matching the dots. Push them all the way in. Make sure all these parts 111 and 110s are sitting all the way through into 111. Line up the holes. Match up these 2. Push all the way in. Once again, line up the holes. And that's we're done with steps number 1, 2, and 3 on the right hand side at the top of the page. Once we complete all 4 of these wheels. All in, all in, all in, everything is good. And one last one more of this subassembly J1, line them up, push them in, good, lock it up, matching the holes, matching the dots, we're good all the way through. All right, that's J2, and we got 4 of them. Now, let's see, we need 2. We're in the bottom. Step number 1. We need just 2 of these for now. I'm going to put 2 on the side. And we need parts number 112 and 113. They are on board. 112s are right here. 115s are inside. So we need 2 112 because we need to make 2 wheels. I'm going to push the 112 out. 115, sorry. So 112, and then 113 is going to be on board number 5 at the top. There's 1, and this is the second one. So this is 112. So that's 113s, and there's part 53 are inside. It's an additional one. So I'm just going to push these out, put them aside for now. Probably we may or may not need it. So this one's the ones that have, well, both of them have size on it. So 112 is going to go from the front. Let's see, to which tabs? It's going to go on the tabs that doesn't have the connection here to 111. So that, let's call it the front, and that's 112. It's going to go over it with these little threads kind of going into clockwise direction all around. And then 113 on the other side, so the thread's going the same way. That's actually going to be, because you turn it around, it's going to go the same way as the 112, but it's, in our case, because we turn it around, it's counterclockwise. And then we take the thick rubber band and put it around onto the outer side. Kind of stretch it up a little bit. Make sure it's sitting right on that centerpiece is 109. And we got ourselves a wheel J3. So I'm going to put it so I don't mix it up. Once again, 112 on the side that there's no connection, facing clockwise direction. Move all around and lock it up, and then turn it around and put 113 on to make the second wheel. Once again, put the rubber band over. And we got ourselves J3 number 2. Let's go to page number 23. We're good on recording. Keep on going. So these parts now, it's 113 and 112. It's the opposite. So these are J3. Now we're going to do J4, 2 of them. So we need part number 112, 2 of them again. They're still on board number 4. 115 is on the inside, so put it aside. I'm pushing it from the back, so these are 112. They're going to go on the back. I'm going to put them on the left. And then 113 is on board number 5. Top right here with some spare parts, and right in a little bit above the middle, also spare parts. The spares we're going to put on the side. All right, and here we're going to do the opposite. So the front, the one that doesn't have the connection point, that's going to go towards you. 113 is going to go over it. So the thread looks the other direction, counterclockwise. And then turn it in the back, and we'll put a 112 on there. So the thread is facing the same direction, but now it's going to be clockwise, but from the back. That's going to be J4. Once again, 113 facing this way. And 112 on the back. And then we're going to have rubber bands, 2 rubber bands over the center. give it some traction. And the second wheel that I didn't do, and that's gonna give us G4. G4 is gonna go on the left here, and now we're on the bottom of page 23, bottom left. We have 9 sub-assemblies, so we need 9 109s back on the page on sheet of board number 4. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 of them are on board number 5. Top right, 8, 9. All right, and then 110s, we need 18. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, correct? All right, once again, waxing these little tabs, the longer ones on a port number 110. Just it's easier to insert the wheels on, the port number 111. In this case, it's going to be 114. It was 111 on the previous one. Doesn't look like I took all of them out. Miscounted, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, well, I guess I got all of them, 17, 18. All right, and same scenario, so the opening is to the right, so we're doing the same thing essentially as we did with the previous sub-assembly. We just need 9 of them instead of 12, because we're going to be making 3 wheels. The long tab is towards the center, hence the directionality. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And let's see, so number 114, and we need 6 of 114s. They're on board number 5. So top right, 1, 2. Now on the right below the middle, 3, 4, and then on the left side of the center line, 5, 6. Right, and same thing here. Do we have, no, because it's circular, so we don't have any specific weight that we need to put them. Match the holes, push them in, go around, take the second one, match the holes, push it in, and the third one, match the holes, push it in, slide them, connect them together, into one big round piece. And then lock it up with the second 114. So it's 1, 2, 3 steps. And we got one. We need second. Making sure we're on the record, we're good. All right, so that's number 2. Lock it up and squeeze it all the way in. Make sure they're all flat and all the way through. Holding it all together. And the last one, number 3. Once again, and again, and again. Match the holes up, push them in a little bit, then connect the outer circles, arches, and then push it all the way in, and make sure it's all around, and then lock it up with the second one, 14. Make sure everywhere all the parts are in, all the way in. So we got 3 of those. Moving on to the page number 24. And now we need, once again, 113, 112. 113 on board number 5. We need 2 internal pieces are spares. That's 113, and 112 still on board number 4, bottom. Oh, okay, so there's a spare 110, so I have, those are spares technically. I'm done with board number 4. 115s are still on here though, but they're on the side, which is fine. And then we're doing the same thing. The connections are on the back. This is the front. We do 113 from the front with the tire thread facing counterclockwise direction. So make sure you get all the holes in, all around. And then 112 is from the back with the thread facing clockwise. And one more. 113 is from the front. And 112 is on the back. Two rubber bands. Put it on the centerpiece. Make sure it's right at the center all around. Just like this, and this is going to be our K2. The other ones were J1, K1, J4, J2, J3, J4. J3, J4, this is going to be K2, K3. And then similar, we need part number 112, top left, and 113 right here, the last one. Both have spares inside, take the spares out. And .112 is from the front. That was the first one. The tires should be facing So this is 112. Counterclockwise. I think I screwed up on the other one. Let's see. Possibly. I'll need to flip these two around, so I'll do this tire first. Hold on. Should be facing clockwise. All right, should be very quick and simple fix. So the front of the tires should be facing, two of them facing clockwise thread, and one of them facing counterclockwise. I made it the other way around. I made it two counterclockwise and one clockwise. So the ones that I made incorrectly, I'm gonna redo it really quick. So I'm just pulling off one portion and flipping them around. Managed to have rubber band. I mean, you can fix the rubber band if you did it incorrectly. Sorry for that, but not a big deal. It's just aesthetics and how it's gonna look. All right, so we got two K2s where the tire thread is facing counter, or they showed incorrect pictures. Hold on, let's see. I think I just screwed it up because I was looking at this, which is from the other end. So we did make it all correct. Disregard. Sometimes you get tired and make a little mistake here and there, but we're good, easy to fix. All right, so one more time. These fronts are facing counterclockwise. Yep, counterclockwise, and one front facing clockwise. That's key 3, done. Apologies, 115, that's where they come into play. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're on page 25, by the way. Now we need to put the tires on correctly. So let's see, the 4 tires that we made in the beginning, they're gonna go in the back. The ones that we just made 3, 2 of them is gonna go up front. So K2, K3. K2 was the first one, that's the 2. We're gonna insert, let's see, the front's gonna go towards the inside, and that's gonna be our going counterclockwise direction. That's gonna go on the left hand side, I mean right side, passenger side of the vehicle. So your tire thread gonna be facing towards the counterclockwise, and if you look at it clockwise, and just like this, and we're gonna like this up. Need to be a little bit careful on putting those in. Kind of carefully push them in, not to break. And then on the back, we do G4 where the second ones. Once again, the tires should be facing same direction all around. the front, once again, the front of the wheel is where all the connectors are. Make sure you insert it all the way to be able to lock it with 115. And check all the tires rotation is going clockwise direction on the right hand side, and then turn it around, and same thing on here. Wrong one. Make sure it's seated all the way in, and lock it up with 115. Make sure the tires don't fall off. And then I'm checking. We're still recording. Great. Still good. All right. So that's our J. And make sure the front tires are spinning freely. The front wheels. Not as much rear. All right. Let me clean up the little wax here. Make sure it's not in the way. All right, that is cleaned up. We're gonna put the subassembly J on the left-hand side. Might be the wire sticking out for a little bit. All right, moving on to the page number 26. Now we need to check, step 1, we need to check the work of the rear wheels. Now, need to wind it up 1,280-degree turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. And now we need to help it spin a little bit. And it was unwound. So we need to play around with it just to make sure that it's nice and freely spinning. 1, 2, 3. So as I'm winding it up, it should be unwinding on its own. And it should be going freely in my assumption. Let's see. Without locking up. There's a lock up somewhere. This should be going. Nice and freely. So let it run a little bit. Just to make sure everything settles up. And let it run away. All right, we're all good. Make sure the mechanism is working. We're still recording, and we're moving on to the page number 27. Now we assembling the body of the vehicle. We only got like half of the book to go through, which is not too bad. All right. Page number 27. We're on board number 6. Let's see. Top right, we need parts number 116 and 117. So 116 is on the left. Did I say right? And then 117, 217s, 117s are within it. So push these ones from the back. Not to break the... So this is part 118. I'm going to put it aside. And then 117s are inside. And we want to put a little bit of a wax on these little tabs right here, where the door is going to be spinning on, the hinges. And let's see, so this portion with the hinges facing towards the left, we insert 117 with the little tabs facing towards you. One is on the top and one is on the bottom. Then we're gonna go part 118, the one that we just pulled out. We need 120. That was on a little piece. Then 121 is also on board number 6 there, right here on the left hand side. So just 121, and then one part 119, which is on the bottom left here. Just need one for now. I'm gonna take both out and pull one out. Alrighty, so here we need, let's see, 119 is gonna go through this hole right here, and we need to put a little bit of wax on the tab. 119 with let's see, all the way, and then 120 with this little egg shape facing, or ellipse facing to the right from the back. That's like going to be our locking mechanism, just like this. And then 120 with the smaller tabs going to go into this 116 part, this little top hole from the back, just like this. And the door is going to go onto these little hinges through these two holes. So I'm going to do one first, and then the second one. Make sure they're inserted all the way in and sitting nice and flush. All right, then the door opens and closes. Shouldn't go inside. All right, that's I1, and then on the bottom we have similar sub-assembly for the other door. Part number 122, top right. We got part number 123 on the bottom there that we're gonna use in the next step. Two 117s, and then 120. I might as well just pull them all out because I know I will need all of them. Alrighty, so a little wax on the tabs here for the hinge movement. Now facing the other way, 117, 117 with the tabs towards you. Let's see, now similar with this door, then we need 119. Put a little wax on a tab, put it through the hole all the way. 120 is from the back with the ellipse towards the left side now. 121, same board, number 6. It's gonna go top of the door here with the tabs facing up. And then the door, it will go over onto the hinges. 117. And I hear some noises on the top with my dog doing something that she's probably not allowed to do, but I guess I have to finish the assembly before I go check on her. I mean, she shouldn't do anything bad, but you never know what she's gonna chew on today. All right, so flush, make sure these are flush. Make sure when 120 is open, we have that full swing of the door, and the lock works too. That's our I2. Moving on to the page number 28. And let's see, the back of the cabin. We got part number 124 on board number 6. On the right hand side here, a little bit above the middle. Let's see, front. That's going to be the front. So these 4 holes on the left hand side, 2 holes on the right hand side. We need parts 125, 4 of them. And those parts are on board number 5. So we come back here. And they should be, are they 125? No, they're still on board number 6. So there's one right here, right at the center, a little below the middle. I'm going to use my tool to pull it out. 125, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. One is right below it, almost right below it. And then 2 to the right. All right, and those going to go in these opposite holes with the tabs towards the outside, just like this. Wow, there's the top one. And opposite end, same thing. Into the corresponding holes. That's our step 1. And that's going to be our I3. Put it aside. Step 1 on the top of the page in the middle here, part 126. It's on the same board on the left hand side. We take that out, pull this little piece out, the centerpiece, the one that part 121 was in. And with this one, looks like it's symmetrical, so we keep it as is. We need parts number 127, and 127, they're probably on board number 6 also. They're on the left hand side here, right below the middle, to the left of the center line. And we also need 4. 1, 3, and then 4 is right below 125, so it's the 4th one. All right, and here, corresponding holes on the outside with the tab towards the outside, similar to what we did on the previous sub-assembly. A little tough to put them in. All you need is a little leverage. There we go. There you go. All the way, flush, flush. All right, now we need 2 parts 129. They're also on board number 6, bottom left here. And then also part 128. And that one's going to be on the left hand side of the 126. They're right above the middle, all the way to the edge. All right, so we need, let's see, the 2 parallel tabs, they're going to go into these holes. With the other tabs facing towards the top. Little tough to put them in, but just need a little bit more pressure than normal. And then 128 is going to go over these diagonal tabs that are on part number 129, just like this. That's I4. Now we need, I'll be back. I'm going to be checking my puppy and see what she's doing. So I'm going to put you, all right, she was bored eating at my daughter's dolls. Took them away. We'll see what she's going to find next. Bring it up a little bit. All right, back to our assembly. We're on the bottom here of page number 28. We need parts number 131, 132. They're on board number 5. On the bottom here are 131. On bottom right, we need 2 of those. And then 132 are to the left of the center line. And then 130, 4 of them, they're all bottom left corner here. All right, we got all 4. Now let's see, with 1 tab on the bottom, and that's where 130 is going to go into. Make sure the design facing up. That's our seats. And then back of the seat's going to go into the other 2 tabs. Seat number 1. And the same thing for the other one. That's a seat number 2. All right, then we take I3 that we sub-assemble, and the seat's gonna go in these 2 little holes with this opening on the left side. Just like this, and that's our I5. Moving on to the page number 29. Let's see, we take the door I2. That would be the second one that we assembled. And then we put I4 into the top holes here. That's making the cabin, and then the seat's gonna go in the bottom 2 holes. Probably should have done the seats first. All right. Cabin is done. I5 is inserted. Step number 2, we need, let's see, part number 133 on board number 5. 133 is the top right corner here. And that's going to go into, let's see, this little hole, the square hole right next to the rectangular one with the tab. Just like this. And then this is going to go over into these 2 tabs, into these 2 holes. So put the cabin on. All right, that's our L. Moving on to the page number 30. I guess the cabin stays open for a little bit. Let's see, steering wheel assembly, top left corner, step number 1. We need part number 134, 135, 136, 137, 138, 139. All right, let's see, 134. Now finding them all. They're all probably going to be on board number 5, my assumption. So 134 bottom to the right of the center line. 135 is right next to it. 136 is right below the middle on the left hand side there. 137 is right to the left of this center line. 138 right next to 136 was. And then 139 is right in the middle here at the center line below the middle. All right, and we need 136. We need to put a little wax on the outside. All right, so then 134, 135, join them together. 136 gonna go right over it. And then if you can't push it in, very easy. I'd recommend to use a little of the wax to get it done. That's going to go through 137 with the flush tabs going towards the bottom, which at this point doesn't matter, I guess, which way you put it, because you're going to rotate it anyway. And then 138 is going to go over to lock it up. Come on. And then 139 on top of it, our steering wheel. Now we're gonna take step 2, parts number 140, 141. They are on board number 5. 140 is to the left. And then 141 is to the right, right above the middle, to the right of the center line. So let's do 141 first, with a flat portion towards the bottom. Insert them all the way in. I use my helping tool to make sure that it's all in. There you go. Just make sure you apply pressure equally, because otherwise you may break the parts. Now we need to do that tool. Let's see, with the flat portion towards the bottom, we need to insert it into the little openings. So let's see, and you want a tool inside there to make sure you don't break it. The steering wheel, so we can do it between the steering wheel and the part, because otherwise you're risking of breaking the steering wheel. And we're going to push one side in, and then part and steering wheel, we push the other side in. And I squeeze these two together too, just to make sure it sits nice and simple. The steering wheel is in there, working fine. Now we need part number in step 3, part number 142. Let's see, I saw it here on the left-hand side. Fragile part, so careful taking it out. And then 143, looks like it might be on board number 6. 143 to the left of the center line there. So let's see. 142 is going to go right, this opening right here, into in between here, with the tab facing towards you, just like this. And then that tab, no, incorrect. Turn it upside down, so this one with kind of like a T shape facing up, and then the other side goes inside there, through the tab goes through the hole, so like this. That would be our M1 with the steering wheel that you're able to rotate. We put that M1 to the side. Bottom of the page 30, step 1. We need parts number 144, or number 6 to the left of the center line, right above the middle. 147. That's going to be on board number 5. One on the right here, right above the middle. Once again, long fragile part, so careful pushing it out. And then another 147 is below the middle on the left-hand side. Work that out. Let's see, and then parts number 145. There's 2 of them right here to the left of the center line. 145. And then 146.1 is right at, to the left of the center line, closer to the middle there. That one's going to go right in the middle. So this larger opening is on the left hand side, so 146 is going to go right in the middle. It's symmetrical. I'm going to use my helping tool to get me in. 145 is going to go with the thicker portion in here on the right and left hand side. All the way. And then 147s, let's see, with the little where the little band is, it's going to be closer to the part. It's going to go on the left and on the right hand side, towards facing, going up, facing up like this. Right? Yep. All right. Now, next step are step number 2, parts 149 board number 5. There's 2 of them, and we need 2 of them. 150. That's a top right here. 148 left, right below the middle. 149 we got, and 151, that's on the board number 6. 151 is to the right. All right, so 149, let's get those out. You're gonna go through stop facing you. One is going from the back, one is going from the top. Now let's see, the ones on the back, the one from the back is going to go at the top portion, the one on the from the front is going to go on the bottom hole. From the front, bottom hole from the front, top hole from the rear. $150 is going to go over this little tab that is sticking out. We need to put a little bit of a wax on here on the edge. We need to put wax in these holes right here. We need to put a little wax on the stop on the little sharp piece right here, and on part number 151, also inside these little tabs. Alrighty, so this is gonna go just like this, a little bit movement back and forth. The start's gonna go into here, and then this is all gonna get joined together with parts number 145, just like this. I'm gonna separate them for a sec, because our part start, I think it's lower than it's supposed to be. All right, just like this, real good. And M2 is ready. Now we're gonna take M2, and there's gonna be a rubber band that is a smaller one, this little tiny thing. Let's see, we're gonna hook it on this little tab. It's gonna go through here, both of the ends, and then hook it on the other tab on the opposite end. That's gonna be number 1. Just like this, hook it, have it go through the stop portion of it, and then hook it on the other end. Little movement, and you should feel a little bit of a resistance, probably. Should release it a little bit, because on one side it's like super tight, on the other side it's like loose. All right, a little movement, and feel resistance when you push the stop. Start. Now we're on the bottom. We need the same rubber band, the smaller one. We need to hook it on these two little, on this one hook, go around the start, and then hook it on the other end. Kind of similar to what we did, except a little bit longer distance. And I'm not sure if we can manage to do that, but we'll try. That one's super tight. And my hands are slippery because of the wax. So I'm gonna do a little helping tool to snap it on there. So this is, should do this. You press, move the stop, start, it's gonna pop up. You press the start, it stops, like this. We need to try it out about 7 times. I think I've done it more than that already. And we're gonna put it aside. Still good on recording. All right, continue on page number 32. On the left hand side, sub-assembly, we need part number 152 on board number 6. This is right in the center here, right above the middle line. We need parts number 153 and 155. 155s are right to the right. Right to the right. They're to the right of part number 142. I'm gonna use the helping tool to get those out. We need parts number 154, which is should be on the same board, right above the 152 at the center. Long part, careful not to break it. And then 153 is going to be on let's see, to the left of the center line, halfway from the middle. Two little tiny parts. I'm going to use the helping tool to get these out. All right, so we take the part number 152 with the design towards the top. 153 is going to go, it's kind of like in a zigzag, so towards the front, the second tab. Two holes in the center. And I'm using the helping tool to get those inserted, to apply equal pressure. Then we're going to do 155. All right, so I guess there's a directionality. I thought it was equivalent, but it's not. The one I did insert properly, the other one is upside down or backwards. So the second one, this should kind of like face towards, diagonally towards the front. So I'm gonna replace the second one. Try to replace it. So there is a directionality on that. They're slanted a little bit. Just like this. All right, now 154, I'm going to insert the 155s first, put it on these three tabs that are facing them, and then probably it's just easier to get it onto here facing towards you, towards this little design, just like this. Next ones are 156, two of them. They're bottom left next to the 153. Helping tool to get those out. And then let's see, 157, top right at the center line here. So these gonna go on the ends of 156, and I'm gonna do those first. And then 156 gonna go on the two holes to the right and left, facing towards the front. With my helping tool. Alrighty. Apparently they don't sit flush. As far as they can go. Now that's M4, put it aside. Now we take the full sub-assembly and we insert the M1 portion, that's with the steering wheel, into the two holes that are right here at the top of the door. There should be right there. Tough little guys. All right, that's the first one. And then the next, we need to insert, in step number 2, we need to insert the M2 subassembly with the start-stop. The stops facing towards the passenger side of the cabin. So that needs to go, and the little tab right here should lock with the, there's like a little wheel that has teeth. they're facing, if you're looking at the direction of the vehicle motion, they're facing clockwise direction, and so we need to lock it in here. So these two little tabs are gonna go on the side, the front, and make sure that part is locked. I'm gonna use my helping tool, make sure that everything is inserted properly. And all the way in. All right, and then locking mechanism should go and lock onto the little gear, just like that, sitting. I don't know, it's very hard to show on the on the video, but maybe you can look inside. So it should be locking or sitting on that gear. It'll adjust once you put the other side on, but it should be like right around that area. You can release it in the meantime, but you need to make sure that it's going to be as close, right against this little portion right here. Be some time. We'll need to get it closer as we install probably next steps. All right, so we're on page number 33. We install the door on the other side, and let's see, we're gonna start from, we need part number 133, which is on board number 5, top right. That's gonna go into the, let's see, where was it? It's for the step, into the door first, into this little square hole, right? No. Yes, it's gonna go into the square hole of the door. That also prevents the door from opening towards the inside. And then the door is gonna go all the way onto all these little tabs that are everywhere. So I'll do the bottom first. Make sure you apply pressure only when you're sure it's where it's supposed to be. Matching up all the tabs. And the front. And the steering wheel. That's a little tougher. Grab onto this, then the steering wheel, this guy. A little tough to get all the parts in, but carefully work it through. Make sure everything is aligned before you squeeze it completely. And then you can adjust it by squeezing it all around once you get all the tabs in their corresponding holes. Make sure, once again, squeezing a little light, not to break anything. All right, we got the cabin situated, and then we got to put an M4 on top of the cabin to lock it all in. So we got 5 holes that we need to match up. All right, looks like everything is in. And then you can use a helping tool just to make sure that it's pushed all the way, like the tabs are sitting nice and flush. All right, we got all 5 of them in. Now we're at M is done. Moving on to the page number 34. Making sure that we're still on record. Now, let's see. Step 1 on page number 34. We got our parts 158, 159, 160. They're all on board number 5. Bottom here, we need 2 of them, so 2 of each. 158. 159, 160s are on there too. 159s are in the top left here. And let's see, we got only spares left, so this can go to the side. Let's see. Little wax on the tab and inside the hole. On the tab and inside the hole. They go into 160 with the hole. Center line of the hole is parallel to the longer portion of 160 with a little outline going towards the outside. And then that gonna go onto the 158, right, and at the end here onto this little tab. And it should rotate. Same thing on the other one. Should rotate just like this all around. Now that gets installed into the, as a mirror. There's 2 little holes here, and then that little tab is going to go inside of port number 158. So we install it on port on right hand side and then left hand side on both. I'm going to use the little helping tool to get me a little help. So on the right hand side and then left, we're going to do the same thing, just turn the mirror the other direction. And make sure it's in everywhere. All around. And that's our N. We're done with page number 34. Moving on to the page number 35. I'll be checking every single page, make sure we are recording. I know you see my shadow. Let's see, we're on page number 35, top left corner, board number 6. We have step 1, we need parts number 162, 161, 162, 163, and 164. And let's see, they're on the board number 7. Parts number 162 is top left, second part from the left. 163 is right next to it at the top. 164 is right here, right below the middle, to the right of the center line. And then 161 is on board number 6. So we have assembled 01, parts 161, 163, tab facing towards the same direction. 164 kind of locking it up. Then we got 02, same thing, 161, 165 on top, 166 tab facing this direction, 164 locking it up. And then I assembled, this one's pretty far away before I noticed that the video has paused. So 168 go in and then snap it into the holes, both of those. That's step 2 of step 1. Then the next step 2, we gotta go 170. This is a triangle, so they go over 169 first, and then 169 right here snaps in, and opposite mirror image on the other side. goes into 169 first, and then snaps in here, and then 171 with the two little, actually it's on the bottom here, so it goes right in between there. There's like a little tabs or holes right here. What are the holes? Then we move down to the page number 36. Just going really quick. 173, slide down, push it in. Together with part number 72, they locks on two little tabs here. The next steps are 174 are into the part 175, and then 175 you slide in and lock onto this sub-assembly. And then once you lock it in, 174, they go on the little tabs right here on the side. So that's where I'm at right now. That's where the video cut off, and I'm going to continue. So instead of disassembling, this is not such a big or complex part, so you guys should be okay with that. Now we're on board number 6. We need two parts 176. They're on the bottom to the left and the right of the center line here. And then 177 are at the top to the right and the left side of the center line. So let's see, 177. So we're gonna do, these are mirror image of each other. So let's see, there is a little longer piece. That's the piece that goes inside right here. That's gonna be actually upside down. So this is this triangle facing down. So 177 right here onto the side, and then the other one opposite longer end there. And both of these gonna go onto the right and left side of the sub-assembly. Let's see, this is the front. The triangle should mention, I put it both of them are the same, so should be mirror image of each other. So that portion facing down tab, and then this little tab goes into between the into this opening right here. So tab first, and then into here, and then the other end, same thing. Tab, opening into the tab. Next, step number 7, page number 36, we need part number 178, bottom right. Then there's 155, one right here, a little below the middle to the right of the center line, and one is halfway. And looks like this is it on board number 6. So board number 6 goes to the side. We're getting close to the end here. So this is the holes that goes towards the tub. We're gonna go over these little parts 177 that we just did. The opening should be big enough for it just to slide in, and there is a little slot here that you can put connected to the part number 176, just like this, and then 155 goes right over these little tabs that are sticking out, also kind of locking 178 in. And then these guys 02 and 01 go on the right and left hand side, or driver and passenger. So this is, I'm doing the driver side first. And the passenger side. Just like that, and that's our 03. Moving on to the page number 37. Now we're on board number 7. We need parts number step 1 on the left hand side. We need parts number 179, which is on the right hand side. That's that long piece. Careful pushing it out. 181, 2 of them. They're going to be at the top right corner here, almost kind of like halfway in the middle. 180, which is going to be, let's see where 180. 180 is right next to it. It's got the license plate number on there. And then 182s, they're right at the center, at the top. So that's easy. Let's see, 179. We do 181 on one side with a little burnout piece towards the outside. Then we do the license plate. Make sure it's facing the correct direction. It's not upside down. I don't think you will be able to put it upside down, but kind of slide it into the slots, and then 181 on the other end. Kind of continuation of that bumper, and then we do the 182 on the bottom. There's only one way you can put it in, right and left hand side. And that's our 04. That's our bumper. Now, next, step number 1 right in the middle here, page number 37. We need parts number 184, 2, 185, 183, and 186. So 183 is on the left-hand side here. Careful. Cutting it out. 185, this little tiny piece right here, right to the left of the center line. 186 is right next to it. They're nice and easy cut. And 184s are on the left in between those two, 183 and 186. So with the pipe going up, we have 185 in this little slot right here. And it's gonna lock 186 on one and the other end. And then 184 and 186 is gonna go into here. So we're gonna start with one of these, put 186 in first, and then 185 on the bottom there. We're gonna take the 183, slide these two parts through, and then lock it up with 184 on the other side. Just like this. Now, we need 9 of part number 187 first. So let's push all that thing out. Let's do 9 first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These all gonna go with a little dot towards the front or towards that tab. Gonna push it all the way in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we're gonna find part number 188. It's on the same, right at the center line, same board, number 7. And that one with the tab's gonna go towards the inside. I'm gonna push it in. And now we continue with parts number 187, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll 10 of them out, 1 extra spare. Same thing we're gonna do with the little tabs. I guess it doesn't matter as long as they're one direction. They should be facing the other way, I guess. Let's redo it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't matter. 6, 7, 8, 9, 188, tap in towards the inside, and 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then these gonna lock up with 189, 190, 191. 189 right at the top center, 189, 190, and then 191. They all three together. So 189 first, all the way in, 190 second, and then we lock it all up with a little outline towards the top, 191. That's our 05. Moving on to the page number 38. Let's see, we need to put these three parts onto the subassembly. So let's do bumper first. That's gonna go on the tabs right here, these two tabs. All in. The next step is the little hood that's gonna go into this guy. There's a slot here, so we're gonna hook it up onto the little grade, just like this. Make sure it's all the way in. And locks it. And then the third step, the little exhaust pipe that's gonna go into tab here, and these two slots for the ones that we just made. 1, 2, and then on the bottom there, 3, all three. Now we're checking to make sure that the hood opens, and that's our O. So we're done with that part. Moving on to the page number 39. Check. Good. We need part number 192, board number 7, right in the center. A little helping tool. And that comes with parts number 193, a little bit above the middle to the right of the center line. This is gonna go this way, so we're gonna insert 193 from the back. We get with the little tabs into port number 193, then we grab the truck and we insert it into these two holes right here. So this part is facing towards the exhaust. Next, if this is, yeah, this is an exhaust. Next, step number 3, we need part number 194 right here, 2 of them, right at the center, a little towards the top. 196, that one is to the left, right above the middle line, and then 195s, 1, 2, 3, I guess, this is, looks like an exhaust, another exhaust. And so Let's see, this little tab should be sticking out to the right and away from you. We insert these 3 little parts 195 on the bottom there. Then another 195 should be sticking out the same way. The tab should be the same way. And then the pipe, or whatever, the extension, should go to the right, same kind of to the right, one way. And that goes onto the cabin in these 2 holes right here. Just like this. And that's step number 4. Step number 5 will be getting part number 197 right here to the left of the center line, right above the middle a little bit, and that's gonna go underneath here into the exhaust pipe or whatever it is, and into the cabin. Another connection point, just like this. Step number 6, we got parts number 198 to the right here, right in the middle, to the right of the center line. 199 should be top left corner, 2 of them. And then 200 to the left, right above the middle here. Just like that. Now we need to wax these little 2 pieces, little tabs that are at the edge. And then we put part number 200 with a little notch towards the bottom. I'm gonna do these 2 little steps, 1 and 2. Other one is mirror image, and we're gonna slide them onto this little part, kind of creating a little step ladder. And these 2 little tabs are towards the front, the thinner ones. Oops. And they should rotate a little. And step number 7, there's part number 201. 201, right above the middle and the center line. That one's gonna go into this tab. Actually, and then that's gonna be on the back right here. Okay, so that one's after. So we have to get it into here first. Hold on, which hole? This hole right here. And then this little part with the ladder kind of like rolling up, there's a hole gonna go into this tab, and this guy onto here. Just like this. So it gets a little ladder. Looks like a ladder at least. We're done with page number 39. Moving on to the page number 40. We need a longer rubber band that is thin. Here we gotta hook it up onto two little hooks on the part that we just created. And then that's gonna go onto the hook, right? Onto this little L shape, upside down L that we just did, just like this. We're gonna put it aside. That's a P. Now, page number 40, bottom left, start sub-assembling. How many more pages we got? Just a little, 3 more. Let's see. Bottom left, page step number 1, we need parts number 202, 3, 4, and 5. They're bottom right. 202 is all the way bottom right. 203, we need 2 of them. They are on board number 8, to the right or left. 2 203s. We need part number 204. Part number 204 and bottom board number 7, bottom left to the left of the center line. Let's see, and 205. And 205 would be on board number 8 to the right of the center line on the bottom here. All right, let's see. 205, this little thing to the left. 204 is going to go from the bottom into the little portion, little hole here. So right next to the surface, it's going to be sticking out a little bit. 203 is going to go on the left hand side here. With this little slanted surface, chamfer surface going towards the bottom. The other 203 is going to go on the opposite mirror image. And then 205 is going to go at the top here with a thicker tab towards the top and kind of like away, slanted away from you. Just like this. Then we got part number 206, 207, 208. There should be on board number 7. 206 is on the right here. Right below the middle. 207 is going to be, where's 207? 207 is going to be on board number 8, and 208 are there too. They're below the middle on the left hand side, halfway probably. 2 of them are together. So they're going to go, 207 is going to go into the hole right here. And let's see, it's going to go, the one that's closer, like that little tab that is closer to the center is going to go towards the top. Put that in. Maybe use your tool to make sure that it's all the way in. And then 208 over the other tab. Just like this. And that's our Q1. Let's see, Q2. Step 1 right in the middle on the bottom here. We got parts, once again, 203, board number, oh, I forgot the 206. All right, just this kind of fits right into the part number 203 on both ends. Just like this. All right, back to step number 1 in the middle here of page number 40 on the bottom. 203, 2 of them. The same as before. 203 is on the left hand side now. I'm going to use these 2. 209 is on board number 7, bottom right, and 204, where was it? It's right in the middle, towards the bottom here. So 3 parts right now. Same thing, the little extension to the right. 203s with the slanted portion towards the bottom go on the front here. Mirror image of each other. And then 204 is going to go into this hole sticking out on the side here. Now we need part number 205 on board number 8, bottom almost to the right of the center, and 206, that's the one that we just pulled out. It's on board number 7, below the middle on the right hand side here on the edge almost. So 205, same way, slanted towards the back with a thicker tab on the top. And then 206 go into the 203, nice and flush on both ends. And that's our Q2. Moving on to the page number 41. Little check, make sure that we're recording. Let's see, step 1 on the top left. We got parts number 210, 211, 12, and 13. They're on board number 7. Should be. All 3, let's see. 210, that's an additional on the bottom to the right of the center line. 213 is to the right, all the way at the edge, one of them. 212 is to the right of the center line, halfway from the middle. 213 we did, 212, 210, 211. 211 is, let's see, we got 210, we got 213, 212, and 211 is going to be, where is it at? 211 is a bottom right. There are 2 of them here. All right, so 210 with a double tap on the bottom, and that's where 211 is going to go into. 211 is symmetrical, so the opening should go to the left, just like this, as you're looking at it. 212, 2 tabs facing to the right. They're going to go into these 2 tabs, or on part number 210. And then 213 with the tab to the right on the last at the top, just like this. Then one sub-assembly, step 2, part number 216, 214, 215, 216. So same board. 214 is right at the middle to the right of the center line. 215 is going to be at the center to the little bit to the right, halfway through. And then 216 is where's 216? That's our 214. We have 214, 215, 216. 216 out to the right of the center line, halfway in between. All right, so 216 is going to go into the part number 215 with a tab towards the top, like this. That's going to go into this opening here. And then I'm not pushing it in just yet because we got a 214 that has to go into opening here and the slot, and the tab here. So I'm going to push it from this side, tab here. Now I can squeeze everything in, make sure everything is locked in place. Just like this. Now we need part number 217, which is on board number 8, and it's a bottom left part. And that one with these little steps going towards the sub-assembly. We have the smaller gap on the left hand side, and then this will go into just at the end this little tab that is sticking out. Guess nothing else is holding it at the moment. Just like this. And that's our Q3. And then Q4 would be similar assembly, just facing the other direction. So majority is on board number 7. We have 210. Uh, 213, bottom right. 218, to the left of the center line, like in the middle of the quadrant, and 211 would be bottom right, again, the most right part. And similar scenario, so 2 tabs on the bottom, 211 going with the opening to the right now instead of left, and the other guy is going with the tabs the opposite direction to the left. And 213. And then part, let's see, 215, 216, 214, same board. 216 right here to the right, middle of the right, bottom right quadrant. 214 is right below the middle in the right bottom quadrant. And then 215 is to the left of the center line in my case, halfway through, down the middle. Let's see, 216 goes into 215. 214 goes into 216. And then all that is going into the little part number 211. That I did a little wrong. Should be the other way around. That little part 214 over 215, so that's the directionality of 216, which I did incorrectly. Just fixed it, and then that should fit into right into the holes. And that's going to go over part number 219, which is on board number 8. Once again, the smaller opening here, smaller slot to the right instead of left, and this is going to go all the way at the end there. And just like this. All right. We're good on recording, page number 42. All right, sub-assembly, part number 220. Step number 1, top left corner, part number 220 on board number 7 on the bottom. Right at the center. And then we're gonna take our truck, Q2, that's the one that is without the little gas tank cap. That's gonna go through two holes right here. Make sure it's all the way in, and then we're gonna lock it with part number 220 from the other side. just kind of symmetrical. So hold it in. Squeeze it in. I know I'll fix that right now. There's putting a little pressure is a little tough on here, so I'm gonna separate it a little bit. All right, just like this. That should squeeze back in. Alrighty. I know there was a lot of crippling sounds, but this is on the right hand side, and then we're gonna do the left hand side in a second. I know, actually. All right, still recording. Let's see, we're in step number 2. We need to put Q4 on. That's the one with the tabs kind of like on the left hand side, and that's gonna go into this little guy here. And these tabs are gonna go into the cabin. And this box gonna get it attached also. 1, 2, 3, and then here tabs into the cabin, nice and tight. All right, all the way in, and then yeah, that's where they come in. We're all good, and then we did connect it here too. So there's like a few connection points that are supposed to match up. Alrighty, and then let's see. So everything is connected. And then we're moving on to the page number 43, and similar thing on the opposite end. So we're do part number 220 to lock this sub-assembly in. Turn it around. We're gonna put the part into here. The only difference is got like a little cap for the gas tank. So that goes through, connects. Then we put part number 220 over. Lock it in. Similar situation here, but the other portion is gonna hold it up. Extra unnecessary pieces. And then the little Q4 from the bottom. set, nice and tight. Then I had one mirror fall out. I'm gonna put it back on. All right, so we got step number 4 completed, and our queue is all done. So once again, the connection here, 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 into here, this guy, all around. Alrighty, put it aside for now. Step number 44. We need 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Looks like all on board 8. 21. 22 at the top here. 23. 24. 25. 226 and 227. They're right here at the bottom of that page. 226 on the front and 227 towards the back. All right, so let's see, all the tabs should be facing one direction, like this. That's shown on the picture here. The design towards the bottom. 227 is gonna go right here into the center holes. And then 226 in the front holes. Just line them up and push them in. All right. Then 228 and 229, 2 of them. Board number 8. 228, bottom left, and 229 also bottom left, right at the center, almost at the center. So that's gonna go into 228. I'm gonna put 229 on it first, and they're gonna go into these top holes, well, right on the left side of the front part, number 226. Just like this. That's our R1. I'm gonna put it aside. Step number 1 on page number 44, bottom left, we have 3 parts number 230. They are gonna be on board number 7. 1, 2, and 3. We need 232. 232 is gonna be on board number 8. Has to be right at the center here, middle, back, and front. Tab is towards the left. These little connections towards the right side. The other way around. .230 on the other end. Same way. 230 is facing the same direction. except here the tabs are going through. And then we have to lock it at 231 there at the bottom left of board number 8. We need 3 of them to lock these 3 together. With the tabs facing towards the outside, down in my case. And then as we get these down, step number 2 is board number 234, top left corner of board number 8 here. With the hole towards the, let's see, so this is away towards these tabs, right? It should be, part number 232 and then 231 on the other end. That's why it doesn't fit. 231 on the bottom left. No, not 231. 233 is right here. I missed that portion. 230. I guess those are going to be used. I thought it was 232 on both ends, but no, 232 in the back and 233 on the front with this tab towards the inside, towards you. And this has to be waxed. Doesn't look right because it's the opposite direction. So these longer tabs should be on the side of the 232. So I'm gonna disconnect it here. Or actually, hold on, let me check if it's the same thing on the other side. Yeah. I'm gonna disconnect 232. And rotate it around. For the, let's see, for the other side, so that's where it's supposed to be, on the other side. Tab towards the middle, so I'll come back to make the other one. And there's exclamation point, which I didn't look at, and then 235 is connected on here, so 235 with a hole towards the port number 233. My helping tool. My fingers are pretty shot now. And I'm gonna come back, that's R3, and I'm gonna come back to remake the R2 because I screwed up, so I need 3 of parts number 230 with the longer ones, longer tabs going into part number 232. $233 on the other end. And then lock it up with 231s. 231 board number 8 on bottom left here. I took one out already. Sitting here, so just like this. And then 234 is going to go from the other end with the little hole towards the tab, towards part number 233, and get it inserted all the way in on every single tab. Here we go. And that's our R2. Alrighty, moving on to the page number 45. We did the R3. Now we need to do the sub-assembly. So we turn this upside down. This is the back. 236. 236 is on board number 8, bottom right. And that's going to go over these little tabs with the design facing outward. Make sure everything sits completely in. And then R2 with a little hole facing towards the back, I guess, so front is going to go over these tabs. All right, and then we insert 237, which is bottom right also. We insert it onto, we need to put a little bit of wax on these little tabs on the edges. Quick check, we're still recording, which is a good thing. And this is gonna go into this hole right here. Kind of open up like this. And then we're gonna put R3 on the other end to lock it up. Through the hole and then onto the tab. Push it all around. Got yourself a little nice head latch here. And then we need part, we're step number 6. We need parts number 238. Bottom center of board number 8. And those gonna go with a little hook facing towards the bottom. They're gonna go over these two little tabs here. You can lock it up just like this. So moving on to the page number 46, that's what I just did. It's step number 7. Now we turn it around. Let's see, we're step number 7, step number 8, turn it around. Step number 9 would be parts number 239 on these little tabs. They're right at the center at the top of board number 8. And we're actually going to be done with the assembly once we remove these parts. And so careful taking these out. Apply very little pressure on the connection joints. Not to break them. Long and pretty fragile parts. This is our last part on board number 8. We've done with 7 before. And as I said, those go on the tabs here. So I'm going to start at the bottom. All 3, one over another. Just like this. And that's our R. And then we take our truck, put it backwards. And then the bottom portion here, there is a, let's see, where is it gonna go? Need to see. That's gonna go towards the back. That's fine, I got that point. But where is it gonna go, actually? I think there's 2 slots right here. And this is gonna go over this little box. No? No. Oh, there's 2 slots right here. All right. Oh, and the 2 tabs, they're sticking out. Those gonna go into the slots, one side, and then the other side. All right, it locks into place across and bottom here too, at the end. So in 3 places, and that's our truck. And then one more part. I see. We're gonna hook this little rubber band here, put the wheel into here, and then hook it back up to hold the wheel in place. And we're done with the assembly. So the last and final portion is we do max of 14 180 degrees rotations to wind it up. 1, 2. We probably need to stop it first. There is a stop button. Remember we made it to the right. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm not gonna go 14. There's gonna be too much. And then we do the start, and the truck is moving away. So this is our final assembly. I mean, you see the wheels are moving, everything is moving. And then let's see, on page number 48, we have a couple other functions that are there. So the mirrors obviously rotate left and right. The doors open, as we remember. Just need to turn the handle, move it. The steering wheel rotates. We remember that. These wheels rotate. They're not connected to the steering wheeling, but they can go right or left. Let's see what else. The hood opens, so we can see the engine compartment. We got the doors, and then the back, you can lift up these two little latches and open up the back. This is our functionality of the whole truck. Once again, if you checked everything properly, I'm checking, make sure the video is still running. If you checked everything properly when we did the winding up, that will work. So as you can see, it's working. So we need to move it to the passenger side to lock it up. You can hear a little click, and if you install the little hook correctly, that will lock up the winding mechanism. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Start, and then the truck should go. Just press it a little bit harder. Everything is operational. Everything is moving. That concludes our assembly of cargo truck. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or send us email at info@ugears.us. We do supply replacement parts at no charge if you place the order with us, bought the original model. If not, you can order at no charge from the manufacturer on the manufacturer's website, which is UGearsModels.com. Or you can send us email and we can expedite the shipping, not expedite, but I should say ship it out from the local warehouse in Illinois, so you'll get it a little faster, but there will be a little fee there to ship it out. In either case, if you need a replacement part, if you have any question, leave the comment below or send us email at info@ugears.com, which is info@ugears.us. Sorry, I said .com. It should be ugears.us. ugears.us. Thank you. This was Dimitri. This concludes the assembly, and we'll see you guys next time.